do a really quick one. Sometimes the connection on this device is a little bit spotty. Um, it's interesting. That I thought of Facebook, which wasn't much, lives aren't much of a thing anymore. I thought that um, it made you have a title um, on YouTube, but not necessarily on Facebook. But I'm not seeing it uh, in either spot. So that's kind of interesting. But it didn't ask me. There's like four stages of setup via the computer, but via here, um, yeah, it kind of started rolling before I realized I didn't have a title, but that's fine. Also, I am kind of kicking myself now, although I guess he was using this earlier for a bit, but I'm kind of kicking myself. I'm thinking that podcast that we did earlier today, even though it's a smaller screen, um, may have been better done this way because I'm pretty sure I'm seeing one of two possible icons, and I feel like I even noticed it recently. So it might be something to keep in mind for next time. But because yeah, she worked during the day, and even though most things, and then the evenings were both kind of mostly preoccupied and just wanting to enjoy our short evenings in the summer. So weekend seems to be the best time. But yeah, um, so then that phone would be hopefully accessible. It's something to think about. Anywho, I just wanted to do a quick podcast. I said probably about 15 minutes. It might be much less than that, to be honest. Just wanted to do a quick one, kind of have a bit of a routine, and it's a little bit. Well, we have it over the weekend too, but it's a little bit different every now and then. We put other things in it, but not not usually super often. Um, but so one of the things is a nap. So, and I mean, it's usually less less amount of time. Sorry, usually less amount of time to try and fall asleep. And I don't know, especially when there's lots going, or there's potentially lots going on, or whatever, whatever. I don't know. It's just it. I want to make sure I get this done before it drops, but it it seems to be. Sometimes I fall asleep, sometimes I don't, and whether that's because my body's not letting me, or the mind. And one thing I have noticed, although when the sleep track's playing, well, I mean, I can get up in another room and take care of something if I have to. But sometimes, and it wasn't happening a lot in today's nap, but a little bit, sometimes it's easier just to get up, make note of, or send a message, or whatever it is, about something, and then come back and sleep, as opposed to, oh yeah, I want to do that. Okay, try and relax. Yeah, and then I want to do that. Okay, just relax. Yeah, okay, and then I'm going to want to do that. And it just, you ruminate, right? But or at least a lot of us do. But I just wanted to do this because there was something else interesting that I noticed. Now, of course, we've recently gone through the season changes, so it's spring, but we've already had the days already kind of lasting longer. Um, even though spring came late, when we changed the clocks, we started to notice it a little bit. Um, um, and for me, that's hard because you know, um, right now I'm not working. I'm trying to launch some things, and it's just I should be doing an audio check. I'm sure this is working fine, but just to be sure. Um, I mean, before I say anything, it would be good to be sure. But if you're curious, I had a guest in a recent one, and you can probably that one, right. But da-da-da-da. Okay, and the dog is used to me kind of doing a bath now and laying in there as I do so. Um, Probably want to get in the dog walking, but I really don't want to work on Dominion because I've heard that there can be needles on the ground as we get a viewer, and I think we both want to go into the bakery. But I just wanted to, so like I was kind of mentioning, the viewer left, getting through the days is a bit of a struggle sometimes, during the week especially. Um, Somehow I sometimes manage, and sometimes I'm more aware or attuned to that struggle for whatever reason. But a lot of the times, if I don't have plans, and even if I do, if they take an hour or two of my time, and you know, I don't mind the downtime, but the more sense of purpose that I can get in my life, the better. So I'm not used to doing it on such a small screen, but anyway. So basically, like I'm used to using my cell phone, but not looking at myself in it and stuff. Anyway, but basically, yeah, I just wanted to say my eyes are kind of bugging out, to be quite honest. I don't know why. But yeah, I just wanted to say that. I mean, so for a weekend, this is the usual time when I would try and have a nap. And we only slept in till like 8:30. I mean, well, compared to 6:30 on a weekday, I guess, and it was pretty active. I mean, I was doing some emailing, doing a, or I didn't really, during or before look at my notes that closely, but I had a shower and it didn't take me that long to pick out clothes. I don't know. It seemed to go fast, and it was that was, I guess, the main thing. And then I don't know on the weekend, but I don't know. It felt slightly more active than usual, but yet basically what I'm saying, and of course, eventually I do have to restore, or we have to regain my energy and rest as well. But I guess I found it quite invigorating, to have to do a more specialized podcast with a guest again, to foresee some things into the future a bit more. Um, Connected to that person and just in general, different things that we want to kind of look at together and that. Um, and well, I did do something. They both of them together was nice. It's kind of like, wow, suddenly two people here at the same time. It's kind of like, let me try holding it this way. For some reason, that almost feels a little bit better. I don't know, because I'm right-handed. I'm right-eyed. I don't know. But it was invigorating. I think that would be the word. It was like, and sorry I'm in bed. I, I say, oh, I have all this energy. I'm invigorated. I tried to have a nap. I did. One of the viewers left, but and so, yeah, out of curiosity, I'm not seeing if I'm just looking for the chat. Like I said, there was a lot less settings that I had to, like there's icons. I'm seeing lots of icons on the screen at the side and a few on the bottom. Whoa, suddenly 5. We went from 1 viewer to 5. Wow, that's kind of unique these days. And I do apologize that I wasn't looking, I was looking at the screen in the previous video that I was doing the call in because that made sense. She wasn't suddenly 9. What's the difference about the cell phone? Maybe word got out that we did that other one. Again, it's legal here, and it's not the worst of things, and there's a lot of benefits to it, and I hope that you might watch it and comment on it and see the positives. But yeah, basically, so yeah, that was a good, and then it went down to 3. Interesting. That was a good thing that I got to do. And I'm just going to put my hat on for a moment here, because I got the fan blowing at me and that, so. But yeah, so basically, it's an old hat. The dog's gotten it a couple times, but whatever. Kind of looks like hair too, right? This is. But suddenly 13. It's not that it doesn't indicate on the other one. Maybe she shared it. Maybe she shared maybe other people did too, for that matter, the video and now it's 6. And some of those people are also, because yeah, usually I don't see it get above 3 or 4 at one time, and it's just very sporadic. And like I say, I'm using a different device, but anywho, glad you're all here. If you're commenting, actually, what I would recommend, if I could please do so, is if you want to comment, happy to have you do so. Hopefully, positive comments. Um, and now it says 12. But if you could wait until after the video to put them, because I'm not seeing them during. That's one, I guess, reason why I would prefer to do it there. I'm not seeing them during. I'm not seeing an icon that looks like it would be about that, except for maybe this, which uh, chat filter top messages, all messages. They still won't show until, or anything that comes in during won't show afterwards. I think that's just all messages. So every message include. Okay, yeah, but it just doesn't look like at the bottom like it would. Uh, and then more comments than messages, but whatever. Anyway, yeah, really, I just wanted to say that but otherwise, I'll see them afterwards. I just wanted to say how now it's down to 3 from 5. How I guess it kind of energized me in some ways. Like I really do enjoy doing those interviews, and I haven't done one in a while. And it's when you make the right connections, meet the right people, and the mindset. And she's trying to launch her business as it goes to 9. So there was also that. Um, you know, um, which I almost forgot was an aspect of it. And technically, I am too. Like there were times when I wanted to mention the psychology of things, and as a life coach, trying to start up my practice, that was actually something I wanted to say in the topic of the previous video. We were saying about how meds could still be important and other things, and not to downplay what we talked about, but for me, what I actually just like less than an hour ago I thought about it. Ulti Salahaj, hi, how are you? Where are you watching from? Um, this is amazing. This thing on here than on the phone. Is it better audio? I think it just went from 9 to 12. I'm just trying to wrap my head around. Sorry about that. Um, as I mentioned earlier in the video, and it might be closer to 50 minutes at this point, and it still says 12, and I was away for like 2 minutes. Um, the connection sometimes drops on this phone, so it actually rolled for quite a while, and it was really good first thing this morning too. Now it's down to 2, but so that's all that happened is it dropped. But yeah, it's ironic because then I happened to notice the picture again. We met her with like 7 or 8 of her friends. Came to see her shop. So no, this is 4. She is very well connected. I was more connected on my old page with people, but McDonald's or KFC? What does that have to do with what we're talking about? But no, it's attracted to that crowd that does that kind of stuff. $9, but it's very interesting because that's so interesting though because and honestly, I don't do a lot of either fast food. Although I did almost go to McDonald's recently, but because the person that I mentioned in the podcast, that very elderly lady, I used to meet up with her and her son, and we used to go to McDonald's. It was one of the places. um, but yeah, no, I just wanted to say, when we were talking about how it helps with anxiety, it helps with depression. Um, in my life, I have largely seen how that's situational, as far as having those things. Um, and they say there's different types and this and that. And I don't know. I mean, so for me, I would. Yeah, thanks. For me, where are you watching from, Ulti? That's a neat name. I would prefer to, and others don't be shy either. I appreciate it. I would prefer to use, and again, more details about this if it's not people and I don't recognize your name or anything. Now it's at 7. Um, yeah, and I'm gonna have to ask for this phone during the day, but it's at work, and it's what he's messenger for. But that's chapstick. Um, No, but what part of the world? I would prefer to utilize, and again, you know, please don't make assumptions if you feel negative about these kind of things, or like you don't have a lot of background in it, to check out the previous video. Again, I do apologize. We were connecting from two different places. We weren't able to really look well. We weren't able to really localize. I mean, she's about a 5 hour drive away, but weekends are best for her, and then it changed from I think 3 to 5. Um, and For some reason that's just kind of, yeah, I didn't really fall asleep, so it's evenings kind of works, but after work days and this and that, it's it's kind of a bit of a Russian, but so basically, do I vape? Because I saw the vape. That's interesting. That's interesting. I am going to add a bit of light to the room. Not that there isn't, but those things are still in the window, and that apparently came loose. So just a minute. When he was plugging in the thing, the dog's going to want to go to the bathroom. Yeah, no, that's not coming on. Let me just. Oh, okay, that's weird. It flashed. So I don't want to roll for too much longer here, but let some sunlight in the room, because those kind of things too, like she was mentioning yoga. So I'm guessing you're referring to the previous video. Oh, the other phone is actually in here, but I don't know. There was something I was going to check, but I don't remember what, so whatever. Yeah, so basically, and it's interesting because I remember I did flash it briefly in the other video. I'm surprised it didn't drop in when I moved. And it's actually kind of an interesting story that I told her in email, actually. I guess you call it a story. Basically, and then I want to, we don't want to be set back too much bacon in the yard. We happened to find, within 1 week, 2 vapes on the ground in our neighborhood. And, no, we don't really. I have a former fairly good friend who used to vape, so it's a bit of a trigger. But also, just chapstick. Also, I don't know. And then I learned some stuff about that today too, actually, when it kind of came up. When am I going to end the stream? Why are you asking? I guess, just how much longer I might be rolling because you have to leave soon or whatever? Or I kind of mentioned it, or I'm just curious why you're asking. It's interesting that you say BC, by the way. I know what you're meaning because, but we have BC Canada. We have BC, the place, in our mind a lot lately. It's down to one. Anyway, but yeah, basically, I just wanted to say that, as far as the, yeah, I don't know. That one was kind of scripted, kind of not. Mostly they aren't. So, I mean, I try and keep them under 2 hours if I can, at an hour. I really don't plan for this one to be that long because I do have a couple things I want to do before going out to something. And yeah. But basically, but it's nice that you're here. Basically, I shouldn't have turned the fan off though. It gets warm in here fast. But if I was to do that product, and I have to look at the form she sent me, as suddenly it jumps to 3 additional viewers. If I was to do it, it would be more for the health things and the physical things. And I just want to, I want to, like skipped as in, what kind of skipped? Hello, Robin Rami. I've heard that last name a couple times. One does theater, and she has an ADHD background, ironically, because actually I almost interviewed somebody named Michelle with that. Um, Interesting that you asked that, and at the moment, yes, but it's interesting that you asked that because somebody else just commented, and it says one at the top, but your comment just came again. Oh, okay. I mean, I try and mix it up, but okay, now it says 3. Um, so it's a bit loose on me. So yes, basically, so, but now I have the fan above my head. The dog's not used to this, but he's sleeping pretty good. Um, seem more confident. Oh, I'm confident either way, but I'm glad if it seemed that way. I'm sorry that it took only that to make you almost skip. I didn't know if you were like going, like this. This is a nice view. Oh, thanks. Interesting rabbit, by the way. Message retracted. Why did? Okay, well, I saw it before you retracted. I don't know if you meant to, but yeah. So basically, now I have the window in front of me to distract me. Just kidding. But it's interesting that you asked that also because I've been mentioning the others. But yeah, so basically, I just wanted to say for myself and for the viewers as a bit of a follow up to that previous one. You're actually in the bedroom with me right now. But, and who's the other Rami? I'm trying to remember. There was a guy on Facebook at one point in time, my old one. So there's not a whole lot to see here. Meditation bowls, a closet with a bunch of clothes in it, a window that things are looking a bit more green now that spring is kind of here, but dusty, and there's a stupid neighbor at the corner there. And I think that he's trimmed these trees recently a couple times, but he wants to do it again. Anywho, I would more use the cannabis product again, more in depth about that in the previous video, for the health stuff, the physical stuff, and I just want to keep having reasons to, keep on in my life. Thanks for the like, by the way. Is that an image from Fortnite? Is that why? So how was your day? Let's start this a topic together. Well, this is wow. This is very interesting. Do you two know Michelle? Or I don't believe we've had a ramen or an ulti here, but that doesn't mean you don't know her. But this is interesting because I just plan to do a quick 15 minutes. Then I have a bit of a routine after my nap, which I didn't really have much of. And then I would like to go to a bakery. But at the same time, it's really nice that you're engaging. I guess I'm getting old. I'm 38, so the small screen is a bit of a adjustment. But in a way, it is kind of nice that it's portable, too. But yeah, just to kind of circle back around to the previous video, if for those that don't know, was about cannabis product. Now, it is local here, and there is a lot of benefits to it. It might even save one of our relatives soon. She's still got tracheotomy and has had to have jaw reconstruction because of cancer. But, and how's the day going? Well, I did that podcast earlier. I'm my guy. So out of curiosity, and it's all good either way, but what are your genders? Because Robin could be either, and Ulti, and where are you from in the world? It seems promising for a nice chit chat. Oh, well, that's nice. Thanks. Yeah, so anywho, for the physical stuff, for the health stuff, I want to keep launching. I want to get more in launching with my life coaching. I want to do more with my music. Not in this video, but if you've subscribed, oh, lucky you. If you subscribe, then perfect. Past videos, I've done some. You can make song requests, and I can maybe try and schedule in when I'm going to do this again. And on this device, not that I see a difference. It is a bit, like I say, nicer to be a bit freer, smaller screen, a little so about, but I'm swagging, what can I say? But man, that branch is really moving around a lot. I don't know. I think it is a bit windier than I thought. Sorry, ADHD. Oh, it is good. So that's don't do it intentionally most of the time. Sorry about that, peeps.